Podcasting is the wave. A lot of people who are successful in popping off are podcasting. I love to see that. I got into podcasting initially because I'm a podcast fan. I used to listen to Joe Rogan all the time. I still try to catch up on some of his stuff, but his stuff is crazy long. He podcasts for 3 hours at time. I don't know how he could do that, man. I got a full-time job. I don't know if I could sit there and just me talking for 3 hours, but he usually interviews people. And I would suppose people who are interviewers, you can get along with that because you got somebody to bounce ideas off of and all of that. Who knows? I might interview some people on the podcast. I can see myself interviewing some people on the podcast, but I want to make sure that when I interview somebody, it's somebody that you guys will appreciate and enjoy. I don't want to just interview somebody for the sake of interviewing somebody. This past year, I had my first interview. I interviewed Kirk Anderson, shout out to him, and that went well. But I think that I'm going to step out of my comfort zone this upcoming year. I'm going to interview some people. I'm going to cover some topics that I usually don't cover because I've talked about this in past episodes. If you continue to do the same things you've always done, you will get the same results. And a key to accomplishing your goals as a content creator, as a podcaster, and whatever endeavor you're doing, any entrepreneurial endeavor, you have to take risk to eventually accomplish your goals. And by taking those calculated risks, if they succeed or if they fail, learning from the failure or the success is the best way to get better moving forward. So that's what I'm going to do. Remote Bry says, if you're interested in something, the interest can carry you through when you don't feel like doing it. If you're uninterested and don't want to do it, you probably won't do it. I agree. Very profound. And yes, you are exactly right, Remote Bry. If you don't have interest in the thing you're talking about, it'll get stale real quick. Trust me, it'll get stale real quick. And then over time, you're going to burn out. And that's one thing that I was cognizant of and I didn't want to happen to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about things that I actually have an interest in. And the things that I have an interest in more so than anything in the past couple of months, if you've noticed on the channel, has been talking about stoicism, has been talking about self-improvement, productivity, things you can do to be successful. I have a very curious mind and I'm fascinated by people who are successful and know more than me. So I started listening to the audiobook by Marcus Aurelius, The Great Stoic Mind and Roman Emperor, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And that book is so profound because it's really Marcus Aurelius journaling his inner thoughts to himself about life, about his mortality, on how he views things in the world. And the most interesting thing about that book is it was never meant to be published. It was just a journal of his writings to himself on how he looked at the world and how he would interact with people and his observations of the world. And figuring out and learning from people of the past and people who know more than me is something that I'm interested in because stoicism and philosophy can help you in your day-to-day life if you take the time to apply the wisdom. So I've been trying to hone in and also put out positive content that will help people not only be successful, but to challenge their minds. And there's a balance when it comes to that because you got to keep your content entertaining, they say, or people won't watch it. People have short attention spans nowadays. We all know that.